It's actually very easy to hate on Star Citizen, but only the players who actually played this game extensively and patiently and did this over the bad things that is plaguing this game can truly realize how amazing this game can be. And even I do not like what Star Citizen represents in on itself, I cannot deny the good parts of the game, which there are quite plentiful. And yes, this is the second part of our video series where we're going to talk about Star Citizen's bad and good parts, and today we're going to be touching the good parts. And if you want to know all about the bad parts, I will be including it right here on a card or in the description down below. We made a video already about that. So let's just get it started. And the first good thing that I want to talk about is the world of Star Citizen, the entire universe that you are going to play in. Unfortunately, at the moment, you only have one star system that you can play, but eventually when the game will release, it will have, I think, around 100 or even more, but that's actually very far away from this. But if those star systems will be as detailed and as good as this one is, and as varied as this star system is, they're waiting for a treat, because this world is simply amazing. You feel like you are playing in a future world because all around you have this transport moving around that you can actually take yourself and move in like a regular metro system. There is no loading screens or things like that. You just take a train and get to the point that you want, and you just come off the train, and if you miss it, you have to go on the circle all over again, or just jump off to the other station and get back. Everything is purchasable. There's food kiosks, there's people walking around, every single object in the game that can be equipped and used is a part of the universe itself, which is amazing and a breath of fresh air compared to all of the other games. Yes, of course, the performance is not as great, but still, it's amazing feat to see how detailed this world is. They're seeing this giant planet that is covered with entire cities, which you can fly through, entire moons and forests is insane. And all of this is only through one star system. I cannot wait to see what they can do in all of those other star systems. Next good thing is, well, sheer amount of things to do. Yes, at first when you start the game, it's not very obvious that you can do a lot of things. Game is saying, yeah, there you are, do whatever you want. And for many, it's actually disorienting because you don't actually know what to do, where to go, and many require a little bit of direction. Yes, that thing can actually use a little bit of an upgrade, but overall, there's so many things to do already in the game that it's amazing. And I'm not just talking about the very basic things like, yeah, go and kill X amount of enemies or go deliver this goods. There are complex missions and complex contracts that you can do requiring different things to do, including the space combat, space movement, delivering of the goods, ground combat, hacking different stuff, both on the planets and in space. And there's so many different small things that you do, and I'm not talking about even mining and now even salvaging, that you will always have something to do to satiate your needs for the space games, which is simply fantastic. And this is just the beginning. Eventually you're gonna have more and more things to do. To be fair, I don't expect gameplay to be even more varied in the future. I just expect it to be more polished and maybe more detailed. But even right now, there's so many things to do that will keep you busy for a really long time. And especially true for the gamers that are usually playing these games, who like these repetitive tasks because they're so detailed and so fun. Next good thing that I want to talk about is all about ship controls and the combat, because yep, there are very few games that have such detailed ship controls. And right now I'm only talking about the cockpit, not even talking about ships themselves, because that's a completely different part. Because everything in those ships are practically customizable. Every screen is interactable. You can even change the screen placement because maybe you don't like your energy output to be right here on the left. You want it to be right here on the right because you usually want to use it more often. Or for example, you don't want to have your target lock and your target computer right in front of you. You want it somewhere on the side because you are not fighting that often and things like that. And think that all of those things are interactable, and you can interact with your mouse and one with the keyboard buttons as well, is simply fantastic. And this plays even bigger role in a combat. And because of this detailed combat, and the combat in this game is second to none. So you can adjust different parameters of your computer and of your ship to play it in whatever way that you want or whatever the situation requires. For example, if you want to take care of your shields and if you want to take care of your ship or not caring about the combat, you can bolster your shields or even just put all the energy into the engines to just get the hell out of there as fast as you can. Yes, those systems are implemented in other games as well, but this one is doing it so detailed and so well that it's basically becoming the best of them all. And speaking of ships itself is the plus of this game, because there is no game that has spaceships this detailed, period. Whether you like it or hate it, ships in this game is probably the highlight of the game, and that is the reason why people are willing to spend thousands of dollars on an unfinished game just to have these ships right now. And after seeing all of those different ships, and by the way, some people actually showed me those amazing ships, I can understand why do those people buy those ships. Yes, I would never pay $1,000 for an in-game ship, never in my life, whether I have a disposable $1,000 or not. But I understand why the people who do buy this, well, why do they do that? I have never seen the ship is so detailed and so many things to do in the ship while you're traveling, and that's especially concerning when you're playing with other people. And speaking with other people, multiplayer is, well, a highlight of this game, because if you're playing this game alone, it's okay, it's nothing that will blow your socks off, at least compared to other games, but when you play it with other people, it's a completely different thing. Yes, as I have to say that even watching the paint dry on the wall is much better with your friends, but when you already have a good foundation of the game and you add also a good multiplayer above that, it makes it even better. I still think that gameplay wise this game is not the best space game, but that's my opinion, but multiplayer makes this game insanely fun, because there is no other space game that gives you this detailed multiplayer ability to just hang out on a ship together while you're getting to your destination, or ability to play different missions together and split the rewards together, or even backstab each other if you want to do that, of course, and help each other and go against each other, having the bounties against other players, like interfering with other players' missions and their contracts. It's simply insane and amazing. And speaking of traveling with friends and etc., one of the good things of the game is also the sense of wonder, because the game does not give you a real direction what you to do. It's insanely fun to discover different things yourself, like getting to different planets. Game is not telling you, yeah, go to this planet and do this. Look, not explicitly, at least unless this is in a contract. But when you start the game is telling you, yeah, do whatever you want. And you are standing on a planet or near the planets, and the feeling of just getting into atmosphere of the first planet that you will, and the sense of going down to atmosphere and just landing there is simply insane, because you might be the first guy to ever land here. You might be the first person who just visiting this place in particular, because the planets in this game are huge, and you usually don't go all over the place, because yeah, not everything is of course interesting, because the planets are usually procedurally generated, but also having a chance of discovering some other players' traces there as well is insane, because game has object permanence systems. You might see some different trash that other players actually left, or even exploded ships that have landed there, and you can interact with them. And that sense of wonder, which will change more and more and more and more as game becomes deeper and better, and more people will be doing more things. It's simply second to none, which I love. It's so the game sense of wonder is not just about what game already has, but also what actually other players did with this game as well, which is amazing. Another thing which is good about this game is just knowing that despite already having that many things to do, you know that there are far more things to come. Even if the game will not add any more gameplay loops and will not add any more things to do right now, and if they will focus only on optimizing the game and adding other star systems, that still multiplies game's, well, playability by 1,000-fold, or at least by 100-fold if you're gonna have 100 star systems. And just knowing that it's only the beginning, it's an alpha stage, and getting more and you're gonna get more and more things is simply insane, unless we were all scammed and it's gonna be just in development alpha stage forever. Yeah, whatever. And last but not least is, well, it might be me, it might be all about me, because I discovered this one thing that I simply love. Because when I was preparing to record this video, just want to test the Star Citizen, I played the game and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go, and I asked in the chat for some people to help me, to show me the game, and I just wanted to know what this game has to offer. And weirdly enough, few people actually showed themselves up, and we actually gathered a group of 4 different people people, and they each showed me their ships, and it was amazing because there was the different ships. And the biggest ship that I saw, I think it was a Constellation, and I simply loved it. And then those players actually invited me to go on a mission with them. I said, yeah, I don't want to do anything. I just want to observe what you do. And they're like, yeah, no worries. And I actually got on missions with them. I actually did not have a Discord call. That's actually my fault. And we traveled around, and they saw me different missions. We completed different missions. They showed me different planets. They showed me how ships actually operate, like larger ships, which I don't have. And I simply loved it. The ability to just meet people like that who will take you on a ride is simply amazing. But I want to push one bad thing here as well. A lot of two bad things, because yep, I cannot just talk about good things when there are some bad things happening there. Well, first things first, while we were traveling and while what was insane, game just crashed on me at one point, and I was never able to find those players because I didn't remember their nicknames. That's one of the things I talked about in the bad side of the game. And another thing is that usually the community is incredibly helpful and incredibly positive within the game. Yes, there are of course some griefers as well, but that's expected in the game. But community of the starcitizen, overall community, not the vocal, I'm pretty sure that's not the majority, is quite toxic outside of the game, especially when we're gonna talk about other games. Because I have videos about Elite Dangerous, both positive and negative, and I have the videos about X4 as well. And most people who are negatively inclined with that games are starcitizen players, which is weird. Just going through other games and other game videos and hating on these other games. And I know that because I see what other videos that the people who watch my video, what other channels and videos they are watching, and mostly what they're doing are watching starcitizen channels and starcitizen gameplay. It is weird why those people are this incredibly helpful and great people within the game overall community, and why they're so toxic outside of the game. I just cannot understand that. Of course, I'm not talking about all of the players, because yeah, it does not concern all of the players, both good and bad. But yeah, I just want to give you my experience, both within the game and outside of the game. Overall, just summing up those two parts, both bad parts and good parts, I think that Star Citizen is a good game and good potential and good idea. But until the optimization of the game will be on point, or until at least this part of this side of the game will be optimized more or less, I will not be able to recommend this game to anyone. It just does not work well. The amount of frustration, the amount of things that you need to go through, yeah, I won't be able to recommend one. Again, this is not the review of the game. It's just the good parts and the bad part that I saw in the game. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to play more and more and more and more in order to do a proper review, even though I've been playing this game, I think, since 2015, or at least when the first Hangar module was released. I'm playing it since then. Yes, I am very old backer of the game. Yeah, it's already been 8 years now. Overall, yes, game has great potential, and hopefully it will fulfill it, because if it will probably be the best space game, or maybe even best game of all time ever. Well, this will be for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you like this, subscribe for more videos like this one. I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.